Hello, class, and welcome to our seventh lecture series on Management Essential. And I'm your instructor, Dr. Jamal. Okay, so today in Management of Essential, we would be sharing light on how to manage change and what do we mean by change, what are the strategies that you can implement change, and how change is important. All right, so the learning objective is going to be that we will be talking about a case of change, right? Why there is a need for change, compare and contrast different views on change process, areas that need to be changed, what kind of areas, we will talk about that, and how to manage change. And then we talk about contemporary issues resulting to implementing the change, and then techniques for stimulating the innovation, and why managing disruptive innovation is important. Let's just talk about number one. So the case, making case for a change. So can you tell me what do we mean by change? Anything? Any idea? What do you think a change mean?
That structure changes.
Anything, right? But since we're talking about organizational change, so anything that alter from one point in time to another point in time, we call this organizational change, and that must be in workplace. So if you are changing people, it means that is organizational change. If you're changing structure, that is also change. If you're changing technology, this is also a change. So in one point of time, organization is always in change. Either you are firing or hiring people, either you are upgrading the system, technology change, or either you are structurally changing the organization, making divisions, expanding divisions, or changing the rules, job descriptions, who reports to whom. So any point of time, whether we like it or not, we are going through the process of change. All right. So then who initiate the change? Change agents. So that person who initiate the change or who has the responsibility to implement the change or manage the change or control the change process, we call this change agent. So change agent can be customers, can be employees, can be your boss, can be top management, or can be government as well. What if the government wants that 50% of the workforce would be female and it's mandatory? So you are altering people, it means you are going through organizational change. What if the government department wants you to install Windows rather Macintosh? Do not install in the government sector the Apple iOS or something. Do not use that. Then Windows implementation of Windows become technological change. Then it has become technological change. What if we need hierarchies? Who reports to whom? And there's a new law that okay, you can bypass your supervisor and you can directly email to GM or middle manager. So that's a structural change. All right. So any person who has the responsibility or who is acting as a catalyst to the change process is called change agent. And what do we mean by VUCA? VUCA is military acronym that reflects today's world, that in today's world change is only constant, which means volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And in real life, managers are dealing with this VUCA. Either they are dealing with ambiguity, either they are dealing with complexity, either they are dealing with uncertainty, or either they are dealing with volatility. All right? And a good manager, because we are talking about essential of management, so good managers must know how to tackle change. So that's why this chapter is included here. So there are two types of changes: internal changes and external changes. So external, of course, that are beyond the control of organization or from the organization. So that comes from customer, specifically customer needs and wants, governmental laws, technology, economy. Internal, organizational strategy, which you can control, composition of the workforce, new equipment, employee attitude. So you can see the internal are organization, its employee workforce, right? Attitude of the management or employees, and technology. New equipment also come with new technology. All right. So some technologies they are coming from external. So what is the biggest threat now? External related to technology. The internal technology is like that. Okay, we are moving from scanner to Xerox copy machine that also scans. So that is new equipment change. But what is external threat that you must acquire this technology like chat GPT nowadays? And look at that, many people are using chat GPT, and Cambridge University also installed chat GPT plugin in their examination and report writing system, so that you can remove plagiarism from chat GPT. And also many organizations are including this chat GPT in their websites and all those stuff. So that is external threat, external changes. So let's share one by one. External customer wants. For example, Ford Motor Company understands the importance of being responsive to its customers. So the company experiments will also enable them to attract new breed of customers, helping to secure company's future. Whenever they advertise to their customers because they are famous of being responsive to its customers. So what do we mean by government laws? Like I told you, what if the government passes a law for green energy? You need to shift from fossil fuel through solar system or dry batteries or something. Then technology is changing so fast. Like in automobile industry now, shift has changes from EV to hydrogen. The new CEO of Toyota company, and he announces that they are no longer investing heavily in EV industry. Now they will be investing in hydrogen because hydrogen is the future. Why? Because the hydrogen fuel is very effective and its emission is H2O, which is very necessary for the environment. So now we are thinking that due to Tesla and everyone is now entering the EV industry, and now Toyota is planning to exiting the EV industry in advance. Although they have invested there, they are making this EV vehicles, but they have announced that they will be more heavily invested in hydrogen because hydrogen is the future. What about the economy? Right now, many factories, high-tech factories, automobiles, they are reducing their production. Why? Due to purchasing power decrease. Food inflation is on the rise, mortgages are getting high, cost of living is going to be increased, purchasing power is becoming low. so they are reducing it. So managers must respond to the changes in economic factors. All right. So if your product is very quality oriented, that doesn't mean that it will be able to sell itself. You don't need to market itself. You market it, and you market it based on purchasing power. If people don't have the purchasing power, then your all the decisions of implementing this change, implementing the new laws, new technologies, and all the stuff, it's just purposeless. Internal forces for change. What forces you to opt the change? Number one, new organizational strategy. So from your book, there is an example. In 2016, UK company Sainsbury and they acquired Home Retail Group for $1.6 billion. So why they acquired it? Because acquisition is going to boost their profit about like 20 million pound. All right. So what are their organization strategy for change? So they are now entering into retail group. Of course, the basic economic objective of a firm is to maximize the wealth of the shareholders. So they are maximizing their shareholder wealth by 20 million pound a year. All right. So they have now expand from warehousing to supermarket. So that is, which means the organization strategy itself boost you or force you to go to this change, moving from warehouse business to supermarket as well. The second one is composition of workforce. A decade ago, 80, I would say that 90% of the workforce is male oriented. And look at now, status is going to be disruptive, like 60-40 or 30-70. Still, the involvement of the female is low, but it's increasing dramatically. Plus, there are other sectors included in the workforce and how you can manage it. So that is amazing, Who cares that, what should be done, that's it. But people are very, a strange creature. You cannot judge the behavior of a workforce or of humans, because on the same situation in different point of time their behavior is different. If you want to judge the same person with same situation but different time, their behavior is different. And look at the workforce, male, female, and now the new segment LGBT. When they are included, that there are constant tensions, psychological tension, there is religious tension, there is egoic tensions, and you are also bringing that tensions in the workforce, and how you need to resolve it. Most of the workforce conflicts gonna arise, and you as a manager must know how to resolve it. The third one is new equipment, more equipment. What do we mean by that? From scanner to Xerox machines, copy, they also included scanners, and now 3D printers. If you are installing those among the organizations, then you must train them. And do you think it would be easy for the people to learn the new technology? It's very hard. So that's why you need to implement the change. All right. employee attitude. The hardest part, hardest. Organizational strategies, okay, it takes 2 or 3 years. Organization is completely in change. Composition of workforce, 1 year you need 1 year or 6 months, short time as compared to organizational strategy. You can implement this change. New equipment,